Ulonka tabati yada to ye kuma daifa. Inu to ye ko je love bipa. Oba tala, oba takutakun. Zongo eshu, ogun oya osun. Kini sheshe, tan she nile yo. O jalo jara.
Lafayette, peace and blessings, peace and blessings. Welcome to another episode of the African Spirituality Experience. I'm your host, Arisha Bami. Tribe, we back for round 2 of the marathon continues, man. Shout out to the great late Nipsey, the great hustle. The marathon continues. Shout out to everybody who made it to the earlier call with 100, man, for the album release party. Congratulations again to the brother 100. Appreciate him coming through and blessing us with them vocals. And man, it's been a long time. Wow. That's, you talk about synchronicity. Did you? I don't know if you saw that flash. Would you ever see that flash?
Mm-hmm. I didn't see it.
Yeah, we had a big flash just came through. Shango definitely out there doing what he do. Boy, that lightning is a big old bolt. But anyway, yeah, that threw me off because it was so bright. But without further ado, man, it's been a long time coming. And welcome back to the Ashe Screech, the Tribe family. Big Chief Rod Hayes in the building. Big Chief, what's good with you, man?
Man, you know me, just sitting back watching the world redevelop.
Yeah, it's a lot of redevelopment going on, man. A lot of redevelopment. Whole lot. And that's precisely why, you know, I feel like the stars align for us to get back in the booth together, man, and have this conversation. Shout out to B-Dell too, man. I definitely want to give him a shout out. We're working on getting all three of us back together as soon as possible to get that big triangle offense banging again, man. But yeah, man, you know, it's been too long. The comments been tearing me up. They've been on my head, man. Like, you know, when we gonna get Big Chief, we need. So hey, he's here now, family. So we back and we're ready to get this thing cracking, busting some heads wide open, man, and just getting some truth told so we can, you know, make the story go how it's supposed to go. But with that, man, Trump Epps blow, Mamageddon begins. Big Chief, Trump Epps. Ain't too many minds I know like yours that's gonna go into where we're gonna go with this one, man. So buckle up, buttercups. The ride about to get going, family. What you got with this, man?
The Trump Epstein.
Yeah. And the epic furies.
Look, all this stuff is just to make sure that we had all of the dirty players lined up. Right? Now, tribally speaking, most of us don't know that the tribes is doing what they call a one-to-one nation-to-nation relationship with the government. And the problem is nobody was doing tribe shit. Everybody was doing government shit. What I mean by that? The courthouse, frauds, police, foreign occupying army, Supreme Court compromise, Senate, Congress compromise, and everybody's going on like nothing is happening. Nobody is saying all of the stuff they make a big deal out of. Don't nobody want to talk about these babies.
That part.
Everybody wanting to duck the issue of these missing and exploited children. Right? They have the IP addresses of thousands of predators that they know.
Yep.
If they tell you they got their IP address, why do they have their IP address? That's the computer address to the house that they tied to.
Yeah.
Right. So what would be going on that would make the government flag their IP address? They are exchanging something over the internet. They doing something on the internet that is revealing their criminal activity. Tag them. Now they all tagged. It's just a matter of time before they bagged. Right? Now, we got a whole bunch of stuff happening in real time going on at the same time.
Yeah.
Everybody think that Trump and Israel alone bombed Iran. It was 13 countries. That's called a Queen Mother Seal. 13 is the Queen Mother seat. So whatever they doing in Iran has something to do with the liberation of the matriarchy. The next thing to realize is that Iran bombed every single neighboring country around it that's Islamic.
Yep.
So it don't got nothing to do with the religion. So who is these people? Right? We know them as the Draco line, the Draconians.
Right.
You got to remember, they came from Persia, and Persia is Iran. Right? So that's where their stronghold was. They had underground tunnels going all the way to Europe. The Iraqi war interrupted a lot of their tunnels that went under Iraq. Right? And then they had artifacts. Certain artifacts is activated by the blood right of certain people. Even these Stargates, you just can't walk up to the Stargate and think you're finna jump through there. You're gonna be still in the same spot, just on the other side of the ring, because you don't have the blood in the right. But those with the blood in the right, they frequency interfaces with the Stargate to take it wherever they want to go. But all of them not Stargates. Some of them are terrestrial portal gates. Like the one in Arizona that goes straight to Kemet. Right? That's why everybody think that you can walk to Africa from Arizona, you can walk to Egypt. It ain't the same Egypt. It's you going through a portal. The portal was in the old Egyptian style, ancient American tech that was found in the Arizona desert. So those portal gates is different from Stargates. Stargates is way bigger. A portal gate, you don't need a ring. You can converge frequencies with crystals in biology. Right? We transferring from a carbon-based, stone-based genome to a crystalline genome. Right? So when you seen the old amino acids looked at like rock, right? But when you zoom in on the microscope, they turn into crystals. Right? Then the amino acid crystals make up the components of the DNA strand. Right? The vitamins and minerals is the food for the amino acid to repair itself. The mitochondrial is what gives the sentient energy wave to the crystalline DNA structure to project you into this body. We ain't really here. We projecting ourselves here through consciousness. You somewhere else on the beach, probably sipping on, thinking about being here, and we here. Right? Well, since we here, we can expose the construct and how it worked. Right? I tell them that the moon is the satellite that is the primary east-west projector system. In order for that to be true, you need a north-south polar orbit. That's the dark night satellite. Because they got to cross each other's orbits in order to synchronize the hologram. Right?
That's Dark Knight. Who's the Dark Knight?
This is a satellite. It's got a north to south polar orbit. It don't orbit east to west like the moon. Now, if you notice, the moon is always facing the Earth.
Yeah.
That's called a fixed position projector. Right. And the mutable projector is the dark night satellite. Now, if you go to the Google and you pull up holographic projector system, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. You need a fixed position camera lens and you need a mutable camera lens. The fixed position is the north-south orbit. And the mutable one is the fixed position is the east-west orbit. The mutable is the north-south orbit.
Yeah, I'm looking for. So I see a couple of different types of images. Let me ask you this: when you say the when you
Pull
say
one
the
up, I'll tell you which one to pull up. Put them on the screen. I'll tell you which one to pull up.
Let me see. Now I gotta get this thing figured out with sharing this screen. I think I did it before. Let me see.
The St. Louis Arc is a replica of a Stargate. The ancient ones can use their mind, even activate a replica.
Okay.
The fourth picture on the top, from left to right.
This one?
The fourth picture on the top. It's the second picture from the right. It's the fourth picture from the left. On the top row.
This one right here, right? Where my arrow?
I can't see my
arrow. Oh, okay.
I can't see your arrow.
I think that's the same one. So I'm gonna go out and screenshot it and bring it back. I'll pull it back up real quick.
Yep, that's it. I just seen you touch it.
Okay, I'm gonna pull it up on the screen. Okay, so I'm gonna get rid of that and then pull that one picture up. Okay, this one right here?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, now if you look at it, you see where it say projector lens?
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's the fixed position projector. Right? Now, you see where it got holographic projector? That's a closed loop in the field. But at the same time, you have something called where is it at? Projector lens, HD screen, observation point. That would be where you're looking at the hologram front.
Down here. Right here.
Yep. Okay, now you need both orbits. This is not really the one, not as good of a depiction of how it worked. Because it's not showing you the fixed lens and the mutable lens. But you can pretty much get an idea of what I'm saying. Right? The HD screen is where we're going to see it, the hologram play out. That's Earth. Right? Then the projection lens up there, you see where it say projection lens at? Okay, yeah, that's where the fixed position screen gonna broadcast. Right? Now, at the bottom, where it say holographic projector, that's outside of the screen. They have to have a north-south polar orbit. So it would be going around north to south, giving us the illusion that the projection is real.
Yeah, we got some astrological too.
If you ever been to a movie theater and you look back at the projector that's projecting the movie, you can see the movie playing on the projector lens. You can see Earth silhouette on the moon surface. And you can line it up to the maps. So that's if you go to Google, you look up moon reflects Earth images, and it'll show you. We ain't here, we somewhere else. We just playing this video game called Life.
I think this might be a good.
It's like Fortnite or Call of Duty. We just in the simulation right now. Now we analyzing the simulation from inside the simulation, which the hypnosis of life is supposed to prevent you from doing.
It's so funny because I got a show after ours that's pretty much about that same topic in the trance. That's dope. Wow.
Look, it was a stage hip. Why you looking that up? It's a stage hip, and his name Roy Masters. He became a preacher, and he tried to tell people about how the system was hypnotizing them to be following the system without telling them that. So the book in the hypnosis of life, the first and most important part Okay, that ain't showing the reflection of the Earth on the moon, though. That's just showing you how the shadow go.
You want the moon? So I think I got one. I don't see one exactly like that with the Earth to the moon, but I see one. Wait a minute. This one might be it. This might be closer. Let me see. This might be a little closer than that one. Okay.
You might have to try Earth images on moon surface.
Okay. Let me see if this is it. If not, I'll do that one. Right. What about that one?
That's close. You can see it.
Okay.
You can see the imagery, but they blow the moon up on the other one. Try the other search I told you.
You said what was that search you said?
Moon Earth wait a minute. Earth surface reflected on moons. Earth surface reflected on moon.
Okay. mm.
SIKAPE. Somebody in the comments had my Cash App spelled wrong. It's SIKAPE. Soldiers in Illuminati are present everywhere.
Let me see. There's a lot of different ones. Matter of fact, let me just share this whole screen so you can see which one might be like closer to the one you're looking for. Let's see. Okay. Boom. Okay. Do you see any let me get back to the top. Oh wait. This ain't one of them, is it? You see any of them?
The second one?
This one right here?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Screenshot that one.
The only thing that happens from the lens to the screen is the picture flips. That flip is called the Lucifer Lens. And is represented by the optic perception being flipped. So as long as they can keep you in the upside down, you can't never get right.
Okay.
So on the far right, there's the Earth. And then the moon is the two pictures on the left. Now, if you look, you can see all of that stuff on the Earth on the moon.
Yeah. Look damn near like a mirror image, split image. Just like you looking in the mirror.
Remember, when you're watching the movie on the screen, you can see the movie playing in the projector lens when you look back.
Yeah. It's real bright too, just like the moon is.
Right. So now, the first picture you showed was showing you the direction of the projection. The one you showed right before this one. So we had the sun, the moon, and the Earth is showing you the projector system.
This one?
Yep. Now, can you do a side by side with that one in the holographic projector system?
Let me see if I can bring them both on. Yeah, I don't know if I can bring them both at the same time, but what I'll do, I'll pull them down, and I'll go into another app and create a side by side with both of them together. You want them on side by side, left and right?
Not this one. Not this one. The one that showed the project that system right there.
Okay.
Yeah, you could put them side by side or top to bottom. It don't matter because you will see where it's saying. You see where it got hologram written at. We call that the black sun.
Yeah, right here. Yeah.
Okay, now you see where it say SLM. That would be the sun. Okay. Now, you see where it's got the projector lens? That's the moon.
Mm.
And the only thing that's not accounted for on the other picture is the dark night satellite, which is the holographic projector at the bottom.
This one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Okay, so this one right here is the sun. Is it this one or this one? Which one of these is the sun?
The sun is the SLM.
This one.
The black sun is the hologram.
Okay.
The projector lens is the moon. Where it say reproducing light, projector lens, that's the moon. Then the holographic projector, the dark night satellite. In the HD high definition screen, that's Earth.
Yeah. Classes in session. Definitely in goddamn session, boy. Hold on. I'm gonna go ahead and pull up that put them two together real quick and make a side by side. Yeah, that's crazy. So now we're looking at the hologram from the inside, and the you said, which one did you say was the Satan's projection or mirror or something like that?
Just see where it flip in the middle. See where it meet the green line narrow and then it turn big again.
Yeah, right here.
The holographic projector line go right to it in front of the lens.
Right. Oh, okay. Yeah, this little dotted perforated line.
Okay, now coming through the projector, the moon, when it get there, it flips. That's called the projection line. When it flip, it shows you everything upside down. Now, if you go to how your vision work, it'll show you the picture of right there, that flip.
Which one?
Okay, go to Google. And type in how your vision flips reality. And go to images. Now, everybody watching, y'all remember this green line, and then the observation point, if you look where those lines are intersecting, that's called the Lucifer lens. We're going to get to that in a minute. But y'all look at it close right now before we go to it.
Okay. Let me see. I think this might be a good one. Let me see if this one.
Let them see you search it. Share the screen.
Hold up.
Hey, you gotta remember, I'm not going off no notes.
Well, I said that's a different mind right there, buddy. I talk to a lot of minds too, boy. That's a different mind right there. That's a whole different kind of mind. All right. Can y'all see that? I was looking at this one. Is this like what you're talking about? This one right here.
Go to see where that candle is on the second row, second to the right.
This one?
You're gonna see the candle. You're looking at a candle.
Yeah, yep, this one right here. Okay.
Now remember, at the observation point where I just showed them the lines intersecting, when you blow the picture up, you're gonna see that the candle in the side, the back of his eye is upside down.
Okay.
Now, see how the candle upside down in the back of his eye?
Yep.
Okay, now you see those lines, how they intersect right there at the cornea?
Yep.
You see how that's because it's flipped. Okay, now go back to Google and type in Lucifer Lens.
Okay.
Or it's a Lucifer symbol. One of them. Sigil, the Lucifer sigil.
Sigil?
It's going to show you the same convergence of the lands.
Hold on, let me come back to share my screen. Move that one. Okay.
Yep. Now, the only difference is it's you on your back looking up instead of facing direct. It's the see all them lines intersecting is doing the same thing that your optic nerve do. And I say compared to eye vision, compared to eye vision. Leave that in there and just put behind it compared to eye vision.
Hold on, let me find which damn screen I'm in. Okay. Okay. Can y'all see,
that third picture right there? That's showing it to you on somebody's face.
Which one?
It's a side by side on the second picture.
Oh, okay, yeah. Let me pull that one up. Hold on, let me pull it up.
They got better pictures than this, but this will give you good enough to show them what they looking for.
Okay, let me screenshot that.
This is giving them guidelines to do their own research. This ain't telling them that I'm automatically right or nothing. This is just telling them to go check this out, and then you can put your own senses with it.
Okay, here it comes. Boom.
You see where it's at?
Yep.
All those lines converge. Right?
That's crazy.
Now, Lucifer means the light bringer or light bearer, one who carries the light. None of this don't work in the fourth and fifth dimension in 3D without your pineal gland, which is your internal projector. Your internal projector is your internal override to the holographic projection because it straightens out the Lucifer lens. It brings the light to your inner darkness. Literally.
Yeah, that's facts. Yeah. And that's why there's so much concentration on feeding foods and the waters, and all these different elements in nature to calcify the pineal gland, right?
So now the game we playing is called human. It's the game of the gods. We playing humans. The real humans is NPCs. They the extras when you playing, if you playing Fortnite, right? And then you got the civilians in there that you ain't supposed to do nothing to. Them regular people. That's regular people. Them NPCs, they background noise. They extras in the movie, the people that never have a role. So whatever they doing is what they doing.
Yeah. Yeah. That's crazy. Because look, all I can think about now is like playing Madden, right? And then you kick the field goal, and you kick the field goal, and the ball goes to the goalpost, and you see all the fans in the stand. They just sitting there like, you know what I mean? Like that's exactly how. That's the first thing my mind went to is like playing video games.
When you are an energy worker, you can harness anytime you get a gathering of NPCs mixed in with real people, which is the guys pretending to be people. You can harness the energies and you can use the NPCs to amplify the energy of the real ones that's present. And the best place for the real one to be is the center of attention because he get to keep his own power. Right? Celebrities.
Yeah. Politicians.
Only somebody in the background still in their powers with contract though. So that you can't never find out who they really was. Smokey Robinson, Hyoka High Chief. James Brown, Chief of the Brown Clan. Cicely Tyson, Iroquois High Priestess.
Mm.
The Queen Aretha Franklin, high rank tribal mother.
Mm.
Little Richard was Chief Screaming Hawk.
Mm.
Then we had Screaming Jay Hawkins. He's a whole different.
Screaming Jay Hawkins. You talking about the guy in the wheelchair?
Blues singer.
Oh, okay. I was thinking. You know, I got it mixed up with the dude Stephen Hawkins. That's what it was. I got you.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's crazy.
BB King. BB King. I mean, 2 queens, 2 13s, 2 queen mothers crowned him king. All the king is the head of the family.
Oh man.
He was blessed from both sides of the family to be the lead masculine in the family because he had the BB. He had 2 B's blessing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. And then he showed his respect by naming his prize instrument Lucille. All this tribal stuff, man. This is old Mississippi culture playing out in everybody's face.
Yeah. Yeah. And they call it singing the blues.
Yeah.
Yeah. Classes in session, family. Classes.
So in the blues, there's a lot of tribal lingo.
Yeah, a lot.
Right. So when I tell them that they suck blood and we wear wolves, I'm talking Howlin' Wolf, baby. Howlin' Wolf screaming about smokestack lightning. Head game phenomenal.
And I promise on everything I love, boy, lightning done struck about 3 times since soon as we started. Boom! I saw a big old bow. I had to pause.
Hey, you seen Raising Dion, right?
I don't know if I saw that. No, I ain't see that.
Look, that's Crooked Man walking lightning. All the elders in my family have different stories about walking lightning. Listen, I got a special vested interest in lightning because my mother's mother lost her life by being struck by lightning.
Yeah, I got a few stories myself with lightning, man. For real, that's a real thing.
Okay, now the walking lightning is the shocker. The movie The Shocker is about a guy on death row that get electrocuted, but he lived through the currents and the frequencies of the electrical lines. Right? So he becomes the shocker, Wes Craven. Right? Wes C. Raven is Wes Craven. Throw up the W for the C Nation. That's a West Side connection. And the Raven ties you back to the crow, the one who returned from what you thought was dead. We talking about the one whose key is the wheelchair symbol. Not that one. That ain't the one. I ain't got to him yet. Crooked Man walking, Big Tookie.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about him the other day.
Yeah. Man on Ice, Soul on Fire. Eldridge Cleaver. The Cleaver is a tomahawk. Eldridge is the elder. He telling the story. Right? And then here comes Death Row.
The chair.
But the man in the chair got a hood on your head, so nobody know that's Big Tookie. So when he come back, he the shocker. Unless it's Shock G. Now, if it's Shock G, that's a digital underground link. That's a third rail on the L.
Oh, wait a minute. Now, he from 813. Real talk. Yes, sir. Yeah.
So the third, look,
that's the lightning capital of the world, by the way, too. That's crazy.
What is
813?
LA?
No, who did you just say from Digital Underground? Shock G.
Oh, Shock G. Oh, he from the Bay.
And that's 813 is the area code, but it's also the lightning capital of the world.
Okay, now they were sending us a message in the music and by the labels and the titles of their records and their albums. Right? So remember, when NWA first came out, it was all about Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
Who was the Raiders? Ask Google.
They weren't pirates, were they?
Ask Google who were the Colonial Raiders.
Okay.
It's a military contingent.
Mm.
But the football team named after them. Now remember, the San Francisco had the 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
And Oakland had the Raiders. The 49ers were minors.
Let's see. Remove something real quick. I'm gonna pull up that Raider screen real quick. I think I might be sharing another screen. Let's see. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Can y'all see that?
I can't read it, but I can barely see it.
It says Colonial Raiders refer to several district historical and fictional groups, most notably the specialized small squad combat units of the 18th century French and Indian War.
The who war?
The French and Indian War.
Okay. And the Indians was the ones they was calling Raiders.
Mm.
Because remember, Raider is not a tribal tongue. That's an English word.
Mm-hmm.
And the French was in cahoots with England and France and Spain.
Mm.
Right? And then they had subsidiaries like the Dutch and the Portuguese.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now the NWA came out with the Raiders. And they started off being, oh yep, GTA. GTA was Grand Theft Auto. Boys in the Hood. Boys in the Hood is always hard. Right? Come talking that trash, we'll pull your car. They telling you the law of the West. The law of the West is this. Don't fuck around in LA if you ain't properly checking with the right people. Because if you don't know where you going, you're going to find out where you been.
That's fact.
You're going to come in walking and you're going to leave out laying.
That's fact.
That's the law of the West. You got to know who people you're dealing with before you go over there.
Yeah.
Don't go over there talking about you trying to make friends because you're going to be the prey. It's the law of the West. Gunslingers.
Yeah.
Shoot first, ask questions later. We'll figure it out. We done been infiltrated so much, we don't know who to trust.
Yeah.
If you don't grow up with us, you ain't with us. If you in the 60 neighborhood and you ain't 60, we don't fuck with you. If you in 20 neighborhood and you ain't 20, we don't fuck with you. If you in Pyru neighborhood and you ain't Pyru, we don't fuck with you. Where did you come from on the new? They don't play that out there.
Yeah.
The only way you're gonna win is you gotta be just as savage as them, and you gotta but you gotta pick a side. You gotta pick a side. And they gonna tell you what side you on by where you move and park and lay your head at night. If they accept you and they click, they gonna test you first. They call it jumping you in, but we call it checking your chin. Because if you ain't gonna stand up when when it's time to go right now, you ain't gonna stand up when the war go down.
That's facts.
Right? They call that gut check.
Yep.
Chin check.
Yeah.
Right? I got tested by G. Kirk, General Pete Stone, out of Motown. Yeah. Nigga hit me so hard I seen lightning.
Yeah, I done been on the receiving end one motherfucker before too. Boy.
You should have seen his face when I turned around and said, "Oh, nigga, what?"
I didn't like that shit. Boy, I'm telling you, I didn't like it. That went left real quick.
Yeah. So now we looking at NWA, but they have a split. Just like the Crips, they all split up in the sets. right? So Ice Cube left because he was America's Most Wanted. Name of his first album. Yep. Then they pissed him off, so he came back to Kill at Will. Bumped into the minister and had a conversation, and then he wrote a death certificate.
Yeah, sure did.
He wrote a death certificate because somebody was about to get a lethal injection. But this just the Ice Cube talking. Until that vanilla gorilla walked up to Big Tookie for a seat at the table. And the vanilla gorilla said, you know who that is, right? Schwarzenegger. His last name literally means swarthy or dark-colored nigga.
Wow.
That vanilla gorilla, because he had the genetics, part of the Hitler reconstruction program of Yakub's grafted devil. Along with people like Dolph Lundgren.
That's
Drago.
Yeah. I must
All right, now, when the vanilla gorilla bumped into Big Tookie for a seat at the table, Big Tookie told him, hey, I'm going to give you my blessing. That's how he was able to be governor of California.
Wow.
Because he had to get the rub.
Wow. So kind of like kissing the finger of the Don.
Yep.
Wow.
Once he get the rub, now he married into the Kennedy family. That put him in politics, but he's still making movies. And right before it come time to put Big Tookie to death, he came out in the Batman movie as Mr. Freeze.
Damn sure did. He damn sure did.
Because he put Big Tookie on ice.
Wow. And what did you say we call this before we came on air when you were saying about the theater? What is the other word? Not meme, a mime. It was something else you said.
Not a mime. It's a big show. All of the puzzle pieces is out in the open, but we don't know how to put them together. I'm just showing you where they fit. Okay, so Mr. Freeze had something that was on fire. Can you remember what it was?
I don't.
Cigar. Cigar is the cigar is gonna tell me that I'm looking at Suge Knight now.
Yeah. Big Suge kept a cigar.
A vanilla gorilla is a polar bear over here. It's 5 bears that represent the 5 Califia queens from LA or from California territory. Right? 2 of the Califia queens was the Leah and Left Eye. But they was born out of position. But they was making their bones. Until they was rudely interrupted by contracts and JDL.
What's JDL?
Jewish Defense League. They the ones they call star whackers. And all of the celebrities, they was trying to extort Michael Jackson. His last conversation with the reporter Diddy, that's who he was talking about.
Is that one when he was in that small room and he was talking? He's like, y'all don't record it. He's like, nah, go ahead and record it. Is that one?
No, he was a telephone call that the feds recorded and leaked.
Oh shit, I didn't know about that one.
The feds had his phone tapped. Because they was trying to catch the star whackers. But they was really the star whackers, pretending that the star whackers was somebody else. Defense League is the paramilitary branch of the ADL, the Anti-Defamation League. The Anti-Defamation League is the political front, damage control, fixers, and they work for some people called Moorish Zionists that look like us, but they ain't us. Okay, now, they the ones who've been putting everybody in these contracts. Tying them into these systems so that they can seize and corrupt their intellectual property. Right? Because if you could, that's what they call selling your soul, because you can't really sell your soul because you don't even own it.
Right.
How you gonna sell something that don't belong to you? Yourself is your I-ness. Your I-ness is where your body connect to your soul at. That means you got to learn how to sit on your God seat in your inner chamber. You got 4 chambers in the brain, like you got 4 chambers in the heart, right? The Queen's chamber is in the top right hemisphere of the brain, and the pineal gland sits in the Queen's chamber of the brain. The pituitary is the bottom left of the brain, and that's the father brain, right? So now we talking wisdom and hormones, abstract and linear logic. The Queen's chamber is where you find the Pharaoh's seat. But the Pharaoh ain't the man. The word Pharaoh is feminine. And it should properly translate as she who lights the house. Look up the word Pharaoh and ask him what it means.
Let me see. I'm about to take some stuff off the stage real quick so I can pull that one up. Okay. Okay, I don't know if y'all can see that.
Read what it say.
It says a ruler in ancient Egypt. That's a real weak definition to get that better. Okay. This one says the literal meaning of Pharaoh is great house, which originally referred to the royal palace and its administration rather than the king himself. It became a metonymy, the ruler over time, functioning similarly to using the White House to refer to the U.S. president.
Okay, now watch this. Go back up and ask, is Pharaoh a feminine word?
Okay. It says Pharaoh is not a feminine word. It is traditionally masculine, gender neutral, or more accurately, a gender neutral title for a great house king ruler that was historically occupied by men, with only a few female exceptions like headship.
That's a lie.
Well, you know everything gonna be accurate on here.
Okay, now, I'm gonna find this and try to send it to you while we on here. Because one of the elders is telling us that it's a feminine word.
Well, like you know,
I think it was Dr. Layla Africa.
Yeah, I got a lot of work ahead. I need to share some of that stuff too. Shout out to the 813 in the building. I see a lot of Florida family here tonight.
Did you know the first confirmed female pharaoh of Egypt?
I got a question for you while you do that, Big Chief. Soul Reason says, what does sick ape mean? Or what is sick ape for? Pet Paris, not the spirit champ. Family, y'all gotta give me some grace, man. It's hard to keep up with all the comments. I'm probably like 10
I might
minutes.
see you that another time because I don't want to hold up the show.
No, that's all good.
The word pharaoh is feminine, and they used to say it mean lighthouse. Right, that was the original translation. In the early Egyptologists was translating pharaoh as lighthouse, but it really mean the lady that lights the house. And pharaoh is the person, right? Aset is the seat, the sacerdotal seat that she sits on, right? This is why Isis is raising Horus without a father, right? But when Horus becomes an adult, he's searching for his mother, looking for a widow. And they refer to him as the widow's son. This is masonry now. Now we fell off into the Masonic Lodge.
Wow.
In masonry, Hiram Abiff is the master builder who was slain by 3 ruffians and buried in the shallow grave on a northwesterly course. Northwest from who? From where? Right? So we got to keep that part in mind. Okay, now the widow, she rests in something called the shrine. The shrine is the shrine of the Black Madonna. The Black Madonna in Child takes you right back to Egypt to Isis and Heru Horus. Okay, now, because of this, the widow's son has to find the widow, who in turn crowns him king. Right? The term pharaoh was not in reference to the men. The men were called Ai, spelled A''. Or they was called Aferti, which literally mean the leader. The women is the pharaoh who sits in the Isis seat. Right? Now, a lot of our elders that's going over there reading the hieroglyphics themselves is telling us the story. The problem is we have something called Hollywood that's giving us a different story. Right? So when we go back to what the elders said, we see the holy drama. Then you see it play out in your life. Okay, now, once he finds the widow, if he finds himself and he know that he's in a northwesterly shallow grave, the shallow grave is the body. It's the body of the blind, deaf, and dumb. That's why he got struck by 3 ruffians. One knocked him blind, one chopped his throat so he couldn't speak, and the other one whopped him upside the head to make him dizzy.
Have you ever seen the movie? You ever seen the movie The Immortals?
I'm not sure.
Listen, we're gonna have to look. I'm gonna send you a link to it. We gotta watch that. We might need to do a whole show on breaking that down. But when I tell you, like, there's so many different powerful metaphorical allegory stories in that movie, bro. And like what you talking about, the mother and all that, going back and finding them, it's deep, bro. Like that. They dropped some jewels in that movie for real. Kind of like how you said with Ice Cube, like how his portfolio told stories. That's a powerful movie, and it came out on 11/11/2011. It's a dope movie.
Now look back to the death row thing, right? So Schwarzenegger got the cigar. The polar bear flips the sugar bear. That's Big Sugar childhood name was Sugar Bear. The Sugar Bear.
Is Schwarzenegger the polar bear?
Schwarzenegger the polar bear. Okay, now he's showing you the Sugar Bear with the cigar on the cigar flip. Right? The cigar, the one with the big cigar, is the big boss. Go back to the cartoons. Okay, now he's saying that the red bear, the polar bear is saying the red bear got a message. All right. When Death Row started, it started with a doctor and a dog. Right? It started with a doctor and a dog. That's Snoop, Doggy Dog,
Dr. Dre.
And Dr. Dre.
Man.
Okay, so in the childhood parody, who is the doctor with the dog?
I'm not sure. I can't think of it. Come on, the cartoon?
Yeah.
Dr. Seuss, not Dr. Seuss, Dr. Seuss? That was a cat.
No, Dr. Seuss was the Cat in the Hat.
I'm not sure. Dr. with the dog.
Let me think of the name. I'm trying to remember the cartoon. The cartoon had the The dog with the monocle.
Was it the Jetsons?
No, the dog had a monocle in his eye, and he was over another dog. It was two dogs in the. I can't remember the name of the cartoon, but it was two dogs. It was one dog was blue, one dog was white.
It's on the tip of my head now because when you said the blue dog, somebody in the tribe know. Tribe, put that in the comments for us, please. I know somebody.
Okay,
knows.
but look. So anyway, the doctor and the dogs is on death row. Where do you find dogs on death row at?
Droopy. In the pound.
In the pound.
Yeah.
In the dog pound. Yeah. Right? So the dog pound saying that the dog is on death row. Right? So, but he's under the care of a doctor. The doctor is producing something for the dog to get off death row. Okay, now, once death row up and running, Sugar Bear running it, right? Now, what's going on the East Coast? This is the rise of Bad Boy Records, right? It is the declining persistence of Def Jam. Def Jam is losing the East Coast influence over hip hop, and Bad Boy is taking over. What's going on in Atlanta?
Cass and the Dungeon family, the whole, you know what I'm saying? Outkast, the Dungeon family, Goody Mob.
Yeah, Outkast.
You know what I'm saying? Like they came through
Who's
heavy.
Who's the lead producer out of Atlanta?
Rico Wade. Was it Rico?
Back then?
Rico. It was Rico and there's another one.
I thought it was Jermaine Dupri.
Well, yeah, JD actually, yeah.
Because he came out with the Crisscross Boys.
Yeah, Crisscross before casting on them, yeah.
What do Crisscross mean?
Flip.
I mean to cross something.
Yeah.
Two of them is a double cross.
Yeah.
Crisscross. Wow. One of them died from dog food, a heroin overdose. Right? That means that the doctor got to him, but he didn't get to the other one.
That shit crazy. That's crazy.
Look, we go. This is like a continuous build.
Yeah. Yeah.
That to shorten it up, what's Puffy nickname? Other nickname? Everybody was calling him Diddy, right?
Diddler. Diddy the Diddler.
Diddy. Now, who is Diddy? Where that name come from?
Biggie.
Biggie gave him that name.
Yeah, and it wasn't for a good reason either.
Who was Diddy though? Who did Biggie name him after?
Wasn't it like a nerd or a pedophile or some shit?
Diddy Kong. Diddy Kong is Donkey Kong Jr., a baby gorilla.
Yeah. Oh, he was chewing them. Oh man, Biggie. That's crazy.
Okay, now when the guerrilla warfare go down and the gorillas is gone, they leave a grisly scene. Right? So the knock is coming for the gorillas. All 50 niggas. So when Tupac went to death row, it was just a matter of time before T'Challa called in Mbiki. Hey man, he say, "Dear Lord, tell me what to do. These niggas acting up. See, send more troops."
Oh man, listen. Oh man, I tell you what, you know what I've been listening to lately too. It's so funny, and I don't want to go ahead, but that I think it was off of which album was it? Was it Still I Rise? Not Still I Rise. Anyway, it was Only Fear of Death. Never will I die. I'll be back, reincarnated as a motherfucker. Mac 11 because the heavens don't short his own G's. I'm telling you now, you motherfuckers don't know me. Are You Still Down? That was on the Are You Still Down album, the double album. That's what that was off of.
My verse was, I heard a rumor had died, murdered in cold blood, dramatized. Pictures of me in my final stages, you know, mama cried. That shit was fiction. Some coward got the story missing, like I no longer existed, mysteriously missing. No more why.
Listen, man. Yeah, this is crazy. This is crazy. Like, for real, this is crazy. Because I never, like, to put all that into an allegory story like that, that's unbelievable. Like, for real, that's crazy.
Yeah, so all of the football teams as mascots,
yeah,
it's a message in the mascot name.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's a message in the team name, what mascot they have, right? Because they're showing you what's taking place.
Mm-hmm.
If you learn football, you can read the scores through numerology and gematria.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people be on gematria and they just stop at the numbers and be like, see, they match.
Mm-hmm.
But what they mean.
Right.
Just because they match, what do it mean?
Yeah.
Right? So now you got to take the gematria calculator that gave you the matching numbers, and now you got to filter down the number to see what it means through numerology. And most people that's using the gematria calculator, they might be good at it, but they haven't studied numerology, so they can't translate.
Mm-hmm.
They can just show you the patterns. This is a pattern. That's all they're really saying. This is a numerical pattern.
Yeah.
Right? The people that we dealing with understand the concept of numerical patterns tied to names, places, and things.
Yep.
Right? So they know the numerical pattern, and here I can prove it by showing you in this gematria calculator that the pattern match. Right? Okay, now you can get more information that once you match the pattern, now you got a sequence of numbers. Put them in English. Translate them numbers into a sentence. What they mean. Once you do that, right? And then here go the kicker. You can give the numbers your own definition before you start. So when you see them, it'll start to be more easier for you to translate.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
When I see 1, that's start. 2 up. Right? 3 is a 2-ball game, which is a 3-man team basketball game.
Mm-hmm.
But we call it a 3-man weave. All right. 4 is a foundation. That's called a 4-corner shuffle. I got that from a 4-corner hustler. Because I say, why did they call y'all 4-corner hustlers? He said, because we also all 4 corners. I said, well, shit. In y'all lingo, that's solid though, bro. Look, so while they hustling, you know, they 4 corners, the 4-corner shuffle, then you got 5 alive. 5 alive, that's a pea stone flip. Right? It's a 5 up flip to a deuce, flip to a 5, flip to a deuce. Because the upside down 5 is a 2, and the upside down 2 is a 5. So they call that a 5-ball rolling. You know the airs, the pea stones come in 2s. They call them the cherries. As in the Morris cherry tree. George Washington chopping down the cherry tree meant that he had violated the heirs so that they couldn't inherit their birthright. Chop down the cherry tree.
That's crazy. I got a question, Big Chief. This is a good one. I'm gonna see if I can throw this one in here. Shout out to brother Yusuf. He said, Chief Hayes, the attack on Iran occurred in the 9th month in Ramadan on the 11th night. Is there any type of deep or any type of symbolism in that?
So we know 9/11 mean emergency. And we know that the CIA struck America on the 3rd Bush knock for the takeover of the world on 9/11 in 2000. Right? So 9/11, there's 2 buildings struck by planes, but 3 buildings fell. Right? The two buildings struck by the planes represents Tower 1 and Tower 2. Tower 1 and Tower 2 is A and B. Right? The Alpha is the A, and the B is 13. This was Queen Mother. 7 is the Sun. They coming for us. My mom and my daddy passed away, so I had to come out as number 7. Instead of falling down, I'm going to rise up. Right? So flipping it, the 9/11 is emergency. And when you see it come up, you can either use the term emergency, or if you making reference to the towers, you just say bring them down. Bring down the towers. Right? Because when the old towers fall, the new towers rise. It's a cycle.
Yeah.
Time is in a loop.
Yep.
But dimensions are in a loop too. Time is in the loop going vertical. Right? Always getting mixed up, vertical and horizontal. But time is going like this in the loop. Right? From left to right. Whereas the dimensions is going bottom to top in the loop. The original CERN that the Anunnaki blew up caused the fourth and the third dimension to collapse in on each other. And now you have to split your time between third dimensional 3D life and fourth dimensional dream state. Right? Because you can't do both.
Right.
Because they collapsed in together. So you have to live them, you have to make time for each side of the flip. All right, now, we had something last year called a Maherta. It's an alignment to the center of creation, to the center of the galaxy. And when it lines up, it's a perfect opportunity for us to receive what's called source codes. But certain ones with the blood in the right have to be performing certain functions at the Maherta in order for it to activate the new cycle. Otherwise, everything go dark, we wake up, and we 100 years from now starting all over in a different body. Like, what the hell just happened? So Men in Black Flash shit take place.
Yep.
It's a reset of the game. What happened if you lose the game? It ends.
Yeah.
And you got to do what? Start over, right?
Yeah.
Right. So we don't have to start over. It just so happened that after everybody missed the Maherta before, somebody finally caught it this time. And at the same time that the Maherta came through, we was closing out the old age, bringing in the new age, and we was in search of Big Mama.
Kind of like what's happening right now.
Right. And that's when I found Empress Rarebird.
Wow.
Right. So now all of the convergence of events, and I'm following the tribal oral tradition. Right. Everybody that don't remember the tribal shit think I'm batshit crazy. But it's a few people with sparks of memory of the tribal traditions, and they recognize this guy doing something familiar, but I don't know what the fuck it is, but they won't say nothing. They just keep watching. And then all of a sudden they wake up. They start seeing what I'm seeing. They start having these dreams that tell them about their past self, what they went through to come back at the close of the age to see the grand finale when the crown prince of heaven on earth awakens the world with new and profound information based on all of the old information that was already here.
And it's happening literally right now. Right now. That's crazy.
They looking for Jesus to return, but they don't know Jesus is Isis. Isis is all set. All set is the throne. The Pharaoh sits on the throne. The Queen Mother, seat number 13. Right? The sacerdotal seat. So when the Queen Mother sits on the throne, and she know that now that there's a new pretender to the throne, If you look up the term pretender to the throne, it say it's the natural heir to the throne next. Right now, there's a process that the pretender to the throne had to follow. But if he don't do his due diligence and learn everything he can learn about how to reclaim what's his, he'll never figure it out because it's intended to be confusing. When they asked Mo Preem about the Tupac situation, he said, they asked him, why do it look so confusing? He said, because it was meant to look that way. And he said, Pac's still on the legendary path.
Yeah.
Y'all say he did. I say he's still on the legendary path.
Facts.
Right? Tupac went to death row, and death row wasn't playing ball right. So now you see all of the ones that was involved is slowly coming to surface who was trying to do him harm. Who was the enemy within? Because once you get rid of the enemy within, you ain't got to worry about the external enemy. He can't, you unfuckwittable at that point. You only strong as your weakest link. And if your weakest link is a traitor, what do they have you?
Yeah.
We've seen them all fall. Right? So in order to continuously give out this free game, you know, because I don't do it for the money. If people send it, they send it. If they don't, they don't. I'm still going to give away this free game, and this free game is life game, telling you about the game of life. I can't tell you I'm going to change the world, but I guarantee you I spark a whole bunch of motherfuckers to change it.
Facts.
Where we hit that at before?
Yes.
Something similar.
This brother right here, it's in this book, as a matter of fact, and it's in a bunch of his, well, I don't know about a bunch of his songs, but it's in
I'm going to tell you the parts y'all didn't catch.
Catalog.
I'm going to tell y'all the parts y'all didn't catch in the interview when he said, if I ain't successful with what I'm doing, this next dude, he ain't going to be so nice. He told me.
And I don't believe it was just one of them next dudes either. I believe it was a multitude of them next, them next dudes. Like Simeon Toko said, I might leave. I'll be back though. And when I come back, it's gonna be a whole lot more motherfuckers like me when I come back.
I call them niggas the Black Adams.
Yes, sir.
The only place I see that properly describe how they cut Black Adam. Look, all this time we thought the original Shazam was a cracker. Turned out he was always a brother.
Yeah.
You know the difference in the two, right?
What's the difference?
When you hear the gods that make up the power, that gave the power to Black Adam, they all Kemetic. When you hear the gods that make up the pale-faced Shazam, they Kemetic and Greek. Shows you a transfer of power.
So that's what I'm talking like post the invasion of Kemet, right? In the Library of Alexandria.
Well, they didn't ever look. I'm gonna tell you, this is what's really going on with Kemet. All that stuff was left there for the European to study. It was left there. None of that stuff is real. The real information is over here. That's secondary information right there. That's a training simulator. It's not the real deal. All the real shit over here. The Nile is a replica of the Mississippi. It's not original. The Nile used to make part of a river network that filled the Sahara Desert. And after one of the wars, they rerouted it to cover that crater where the Mediterranean at. The Mediterranean always been there. How do you know? If you look under the water right off Egypt, you're gonna see a whole city right there. Right? It don't stop there. It was a bomb struck there, and it was an underground, like Shambhala. It was a different one. It was a third underground cavern. the bomb that hit there collapsed the earth into that cavern. And so when they rerouted the Nile, they filled it in with water. Now, a problem happened. The Mediterranean began to leak in another cavern in the center of the earth. The answer was blow Mount Vesuvius and let the lava fill the crack.
So, damn. So you said it was 3. Okay, so Agartha, Tartaria, and then what was the one you just said?
I didn't. Mount Vesuvius was the volcano that blew up in Greece.
I thought you were saying something about an inner earth or inner cavern.
It was. It don't exist no more.
Oh, okay. Got you.
Because the Mediterranean, where the earth is, it collapsed in like a sinkhole.
Got you.
Because they blew it up with a bomb. Anunnaki did that. And they was fighting one of the subterranean civilizations. And that's the story of them always descending into the underworld.
Is that the same war that happened when they was fighting in space, like from Mars that carried over to here?
Well, this is when everything hit Earth. This is right before the Galactic Council put us in the light lock.
Gotcha.
Right? They put us in the light lock so that we had to keep recycling until we solve the problem.
Gotcha.
Problem solved. Now we got to wake up from the slumber to know that the problem has been solved. And everybody here right now, knowingly or unknowingly, came because they wanted to see the grand finale.
Yeah. Well, it's happening right now.
Ain't nobody supposed to ever be able to beat and live in war games until he ran into Tahuti.
Let me ask you this real quick, because when you brought up the Mississippi, there's two quick questions I want to ask, because somebody in the comments got a good one, and then this is one. When you talk about the Mississippi, right, and how that's the Nile, like, of this side of the world, are you familiar with the river in Florida that runs south and north like the Nile does?
But the Mississippi River is the granddaddy of all rivers. The Amazon not old as the Mississippi.
Wow. Okay. That's deep. Now, this sister, I think that's a sister. It's hard to see, family, so forgive me if I got it wrong. But they wanted to know when me and Bidel was on the other night, we were talking about the popes, and I only knew about the 2 popes. He put me on to some shit.
All 3 of the popes is under the control of the Black Nobility.
So which one ranked higher? Because I thought the Black Pope was the highest ranking one, but Bidel said that the Gray Pope.
The Gray Pope is over both of them. He the handler.
Got you.
He the handler for the Black Pope and he a handler for the White Pope.
Okay.
That's why he called the Gray Pope.
Got you. I hope that answers your question, family. If not, you can, if you drop in a comment, I'll bring it back up. Okay. Yeah, that's crazy.
Look, nobody in the history books for the last 6,000 years has been the power players. That's all staged. All of what we call history is a stage show. That's why Shakespeare said the world is a stage and we are just actors.
Yeah. And Cass said, world stage, everybody got to play their part. Shout out to 3 Stacks. Maximum Riser got a good question. She said, is this the new Earth? If so, some of us from the old Earth, which is associated with the Sirius system. Or are some of us from the old
Earth? Is an organism. Earth go through stages of life, death, and rebirth. Right? Just like we have 4 seasons annually, they have greater seasons in the Great Wheel. You got a 36,000. You got a 36,000 year cycle. Inside of that, you got a 24,000 year cycle. Inside of that, you have a 12,000 year cycle called the Great Zodiac. Right? Inside of that, you have 10,000 year cycles. They call it the Great Deacons. Right? And come all the way down to we got right now at least 40 operational calendars going on at the same time all over the planet.
Yep.
And don't none of them have the same starting or finishing point to their dates.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because time is based on when we stake a claim to something or stake a marker to where we lift it. Between them two markers is time. The 13th chair, that's the 13th seat. That's the Queen Mother's seat. Now remember, the Queen Mother is the mother to the king. Before he is the king, he is the crown prince. Right? And he has to study to show himself approved before he will ever become king.
Facts.
And that's where you get your Armageddon.
And please, family, hashtag that. And that's an Ashe original. I've never seen that word before in my life. Before we started doing the Armageddon shows, that came directly from Mama. So I've been seeing some of the titles on other channels.
Look, most people don't know the war Armageddon already happened.
Yeah, we spoke
That
about
been
that.
happening. That's a historical event, not a future event. But when they tell you history, they tell everything in reverse. The great revelation or the great apocalypse is the great unveiling. What do all this shit mean? It mean I won the game of the gods and I'm the baddest motherfucker ever born. That's what it mean.
Say it again. You on the back didn't catch that. No, I don't think they did. Yeah, man.
No, that's almost right. Go back to that. That's a good question. We gotta keep this on the level.
This one right here?
Yeah. The Moors is the term to classify all Moors, M-U-U-R-S, with the Moriscos and Morenos. And the term Moor was used to put us all in the same category to fight out an identity war based off the George Washington challenge. Moor is an exonym catch term to group a whole lot of people together that's not the same people by a general characteristic or trait. The word Mer is the Amaru bloodline, as in Tupac Amaru. It's the Amaru bloodlines that trace back to old Mississippian, going down into Mexico, into South America. That's the Fertile Crescent. The original Fertile Crescent was right there. Now, the Gulf has not always been there. That's also from a meteor. Well, it's a bomb, but they keep calling them meteors in the historical record. So, most of that stuff wasn't no meteors, them was bombs. And when we was fighting with the French, they sunk Saint Bernard Parish into the Gulf right off New Orleans. And you have the tops of the buildings sticking up. No, my sweetie, I don't do it for the gram either.
That's what I said too. I said, yeah, facts. I know. I don't even be on the gram. I guess supposed to be on there promoting the show, but I'll get there one day, I guess. I don't do this for likes and comments and all that. It's what the ancestors told me to do, so I have to do it. But nah, yeah, it's a real thing, man, for real. Woo! Yeah, we done covered some ground. I knew we were gonna do some astrological traveling today. I knew that before we even got started. So let me ask you this, because we're seeing a lot of these things unfold, and I know there's it's not really a secret, but to certain people, there's a secret sect of beings that's been here for a long time, wreaking havoc and causing running amok, messing stuff up. But it seems like it's coming to light. So there's a lot of things coming out in the files, but these so-called reptilian beings, there's a lot of stuff coming out, hitting the mainstream that, a lot of us, we've been on all this stuff for a long time.
The human is a hybrid of mammal and reptile.
Yeah. I mean, because
we still got our reptilian brain fully intact.
Yeah.
Then we have our old mammal brain and our new mammal brain. We got 3 layers of brain that took us from Homo erectus to Homo sapien to Homo sapiens sapien. Right? And people be talking about they don't like the monkey gene. I'm primate.
Mm.
I'm earthborn.
Mm.
That's all it is. That's all the monkey gene is. You earthborn.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can't get it if you ain't from Earth.
Science.
Yeah. Most of the animals on the planet share about 85 to 95% of the genome the same.
Mm-hmm.
The variation in the differences is the parts of the genome that's different.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The human is the composite of all existing species of animals on the planet. And that's what makes him sit in the superior position. Because he's supposed to be a custodian that works for all of the rest of the life on the planet. But it's been corrupted. And people start working for themselves.
Mm-hmm. That's facts. Yeah. I mean, because think about the birth aspect. When you look at the semen is in the same form as a tadpole. Semen is semen for a reason, you know. Not, and you can look, you spell it C-E-M-E-N, but if you spell it S-E-A-M-E-N, then you're looking at
the same thing.
That part. And then what, the spinal column going into the brain, and you know, it's a lot. But so with this, because this is something that's been a hot topic, and I definitely want to get your perspective on it. There was a comment that was left, I think it was about a day or two ago, about all the different missing children. And that's why I was going with the reptilians, in regards to them feeding off of people. And then even in these files talking about some of these people that we've known are vampires, they're eating people, this and that. What's your take on that and how that plays into what we're seeing unfolding on this world stage?
We was fighting a war. And the conjure side of it consisted of the Babylonian magic system, right? You gotta remember, ancient Babylon was where Iraq at. Okay. And this is where they got the Talmud and the Mishnah that teaches them the sex magic, the money magic, and the blood magic. Right. And then they have other writings. Like the Kabbalah system teaches you the general system of Kabbalistic magic. Right. But once you learn that, you are more proficient when you use blood magic, money magic, or sex magic. When they sacrificing the children, right, that's called the sacrifice of the blood of the righteous. The first blood of the righteous is normally a royal personage in which a spell is built on. And that's how we know that the George Washington conjure was built on the blood of Crispus Attucks. We just had to find a constitution that it was written in his blood that sits in the George Washington Masonic Memorial. And that's how you locate the first blood of the righteous over here. But it was 4 people killed. One of them was Crispus Attucks, was the first. So they had to use his blood.
Was George Washington and Lincoln black?
Yeah.
Either or? They both of them was?
Yeah. Okay. Well, you had more than one George Washington, first off. You had three of them.
Okay.
So they mixed it all up and scrambled it up like an egg. But one of them was born in France. He was a French military general. One of them was supposed to be born in Virginia. The one whose birthright they trying to steal was born in Barbados. He was the original real George Washington. The other 2 are inserts to confuse the posterity about the historical narrative of who people were.
Like they did with Biden.
Right.
Yeah, that's deep. I got another good question from the tribe. At Coca, the boss says, random question, but what really happened when the timeline changed from BC to AD?
They killed Cleopatra, or they tried to kill Cleopatra and made her flee. That's a crucifixion of Jesus story. Look, go to Google. Put it on the screen. I'm finna have you put something in there.
Okay.
Now remember that the derogatory term for the son was son of man, right? And they telling us that Jesus was the son when Emmanuel was the son. Type in what happened to Cleopatra's sons after her death. The Nile River is a replica of the Mississippi. It's just like the Disney castle is the replica of the Califia castle. What did it say?
It says, hold on, let me go back to it. It says, following Cleopatra's death in 30 BC, her eldest son, Caesarion, fathered by Julius Caesar, was hunted down and executed on the orders of Octavian, later known as Augustus, as a potential rival to the Octavian's claim as Caesar's heir. He was deemed too dangerous to live despite trying to flee.
She had some more sons too.
Caesarion, Ptolemy?
Ptolemy.
Was executed in Alexandria, August of 30 BC, shortly after his mother. The younger children, Mark Antony, Cleopatra Selene II, Alexander Helios, and Ptolemy Philadelphus were taken to Rome.
That's the one. Read that one. What they do to him in Rome?
Which one? Philadelphus?
Alexander
Helios.
Yep.
Let me see. Helios, it says, what happened to Alexander Helios? It says, Alexander Helios, the son of Cleopatra and Mark Antony, was taken to Rome as a prisoner of war by Octavian after the fall of Egypt in 30 BC, where he was raised by Octavia Minor. Following his appearance in Octavian's triumph parade, he vanishes from historical records like dying young from an illness or in obscurity, although some sources suggest he was spared.
Okay, what's the other one that was with him?
Hold on, let me go back to that screen. Where the hell is it?
Ptolemy Philadelphia.
Yeah, Ptolemy Philadelphus. It says Ptolemy Philadelphus was the second pharaoh of the Ptolemaic kingdom in Kemet or Egypt, reigning from 284 to 246. Son of Ptolemy Suter, he turned Alexandria into a premier Hellenistic.
He couldn't have been her son because he was way older than her.
Yeah, it says he turned her into it says he turned Alexandria into a premier Hellenistic cultural and intellectual center, notably expanding the library and the museum. His reign featured a major, albeit mixed, military campaigns in Syria and Aegean, alongside significant economic development, trade expansion, and the completion of the Lighthouse of Alexandria.
Okay, now the story tell you that they was paraded through Rome. You didn't get into all of the story.
I don't know.
I can't remember which one of his sons. It might have been her daughter, but one of them was paraded through the streets of Rome. Where that's where in the Bible where it say he was carrying the cross. That's the same story. Just took him from a different place. Now the words in red is two different people talking. The first person talking is the mother. Mary is another name for Aset. When they refer to her as Mary, they call her the mother. But when they say Jesus, they call her Isis. The other person talking in words in red, they only mention his name one time and they call him Emmanuel. And that was at his birth. They don't never call him Emmanuel again, but he's still present in the story, hidden in the words in red. That's why they don't always agree.
That's crazy because I never heard that version before. Because I was the one I'm familiar with, of course, is the one from the astrological perspective. You know, as like the stars. You know what I mean? When you talk about Orion's belt and Sirius and all that.
Okay, so the origin of it. Now remember, the New Testament is broke up. It only had 4 so-called gospels. It was originally 21 gospels. and it was part of a play written by the first century playwright named Josephus Flavius. Josephus Flavius wrote the Gospels and Epistles, which is 99% of the New Testament. Revelations was compiled by priests from the writings that make up the books of Daniel, Ezekiel, and a couple of the other Old Testament books. Right, so it's the Old Testament is condensed is Revelations. The Acts is because it was part of a play. Right, the book of Acts is actually the first beginning of the play. The rest of it break off. The 21 Gospels, right, was the people that were supposed to witness this event. The return of the mother and child. Right? All these is people telling their versions. That's why they don't always match, because eyewitnesses don't always see the same thing.
Yeah, that's facts.
Okay, now, there's other telltale signs of who's who. Right? Because in the wedding in Cana tell you that they came to Jesus, which is Isis, because the wine had ran out and Jesus turned the water into wine. That was Isis. That was not Horus. Because he was the one getting married. And this is why they tell you Jesus was married to Mary of Magdala. Or Mary the Magdalene. Right? Now notice her name is Mary too. And that's two Marys. Right? Then there was another Mary who was with Martha. So that's the third Mary. Altogether, it's like 4 or 5 Marys in the 4 Gospels. Right? Okay, now, once he write this book, it becomes part of the Nicene Council to create this thing called the Gospel. Ain't no Old Testament yet. The Old Testament is not written in Paleo Hebrew. It's written in modern Hebrew. Modern Hebrew was created after 325. That means that it couldn't have been. So the Old Testament got to be the backstory that they created after the fact to justify the New Testament. But then they said there's a 400 years of captivity between the book of Malachi and the book of Matthew, where God didn't speak to the Jews, right? But the problem with that is, if you get the Catholic Bible, you have 14 books. You got 14 books in the Catholic Bible after Malachi before Matthew. Right? So that's got to be a lie. That 400 absent years is a lie.
Yeah.
They're making it up. Why are they making it up? Because the 400-year captivity is the biblical contract on us. And that's why they passed that 400-year commemoration of the Bible contract. That's what it was. And then Donald Trump stood in front of the abandoned church and held the Bible upside down.
How long ago was this?
A couple years ago. On that same day, Pelosi, sitting on the Senate floor, ripped the Bible in half.
Now, does that tie into, you remember, I know I'm positive you remember. Do you remember when, I forgot who it was. I think it was when the Pope died and the Queen, well, so-called Queen, broke that stick over, was it over his coffin?
That was a wand that was broke. Okay, so that was the John D. conjure.
All these tied together though, right?
Yeah. So the conjure that John D. gave Queen Elizabeth told her that she would be able to rule from between 200 and 500 years using that method. John D. is the one who gave her the spell. The spell wasn't implemented until the death of Crispus Attucks in 1770. when they started the American Revolution. No, yeah, the American Revolution. Then in 1776 is when they ratified the Constitution. But once they ratified the Constitution, they was in the process because you had to handwrite the whole Constitution in this blood. So it took them a couple of years to get that done because you can't misspell one word.
Wow.
And you have to write a word, make sure it's correct, rest, write another word, make sure. So they had to write the whole thing in his blood. Then they put it on display at the George Washington Masonic Memorial because they can't hide it. If they hide it, we won't be able to figure out what they did to us. They also got to always let us know that Crispus Attucks was the first to die in the American Revolution. Right? Because that's who blood they got to use. First blood of the righteous. Right? So all these systems was conjure magic to try to control us. The George Washington Challenge was a war between the Mers and the Moriscos, right? Whose responsibility was to educate themselves above the condition so that they can unlock the trap. Well, it got bad because I'm here. Somebody couldn't figure their way out of the conundrum. They didn't know the secret to restoring Pandora's box.
Didn't have the access code. Somebody said, here it is. Walk and Talk with Ty said, Bobby Hemmett said St. John's River here in Duval, Jacksonville was the Nile too because it flows upstream. And then somebody else said something about them polluting it. That's what made me ask you that because I never knew of another besides the Nile. I didn't know that before learning about the St. John's River. I didn't know that we had one of those here until I learned about that river.
Right. The rivers that run south to north are anomalies.
Yeah, for sure. At Rainy 820 says that there's something supposed to be happening in July 2026. Shit, there's something happening every year. I mean, every month this year. But yeah, they want to know if there's something supposed to be happening in July 2026.
We're supposed to start the world celebration. The world celebration is supposed to start off as the national celebration of freedom that's supposed to take hold all around the world.
Ashe. Now, does that have something to do with what we was talking about the other day? I think that was Saturday when we were talking about the houses and the mortgages and the deeds and all that stuff we was talking about off air. Is that tied into that?
Yep, it's all part of so the financial stuff is under Nasara Jasara, which I didn't do a lot of research on.
Gotcha.
Because I'm not focused on no money. I'm focused on waking people up. So
yeah,
that was like, but when I found Dr. Kia, that was okay. I know what to do now. I can send everybody to her and she'll tell you about it.
Gotcha. Yeah, I saw something I heard the other day dropping some jewels on that stuff. Let me see what else. Let me see. I think I already asked that one. Okay. This is okay. At First Sync said November 4th, 2025, that flight 2976 equals 13-11-13, the UPS crash. Was there anything like tied or significant about that UPS crash that happened I think it was in Kentucky, if I'm not mistaken.
At the time, I had all of the information fresh.
Gotcha.
And I was able to go through it all, but it did have some meaning for that time that it happened.
Gotcha.
But I right now remember the breakdown of it right now.
Gotcha. The war in Iran, is this really happening or is it a psyop?
It's not a real war. It's more like a
slap boxing contest,
a global policing operation. there was some people that didn't want to bow down.
Yeah.
They didn't want to surrender their little artificial sips of power. Right? Now, the reason why you know that the war is not really our war is because he attacked every one of the Arab nations. He wouldn't have did that if it was about philosophical religious differences, because they other Islamic countries. They was more the Islamic countries wanted him removed more than the Western powers.
Talking about Khamenei, the one that is not
Yeah. Yeah. See, they was a tyrant to their own people. Remember, they just had a protest, right? Because after the first time they got bombed, they had a protest that was trying to take the government back from the cabal that's running it. And they killed 40,000 people.
I did hear about that.
The Iranian government killed 40,000 people in Iran for protesting the Ayatollah's Sharia law and Islamic oppressive rule. They had enough of that shit.
Yeah.
Everybody got to bow down. Everybody got to remember that if you ain't prepared for these women to be put back in their proper place, you're going to catch the heat.
Yeah.
You're going to catch the heat. Anything that's an obstacle to this progress, they going to get the heat.
Yeah.
But it's a code, and I just didn't sit down yet and translate the codes because my give a fuck meter wasn't really moving toward it. So I didn't really, but I could see that it's codes in it, and I just didn't feel like translating them or hashing them out.
Somebody had a funny one in here. I can't remember. I gotta see if we can find it. I'm gonna bring this one up. We're gonna go into this one. Living Truth. We're going into that. Me and B-Dell are gonna tear that one up Saturday. Matter of fact, we just spoke about it.
I haven't seen that movie, Left Behind.
Yeah. Are you talking about if you can, family, if you could put Leave the World, are you talking about Leave the World Behind? Because I'm not sure about Left Behind. If that might be a different one, but I know Leave the World Behind. Me and him, we was talking, chopping up earlier. We want to tear that up this coming Saturday. And then Soul Reasons MK said, I'm behind the line. I wanted to ask, did they hijack the zodiac name Cancer and make it the name of a disease because of its powerful meaning? That's a good question. What you think about that?
It was consistent with how they operate, but I don't know it to be where I could go to you and show you.
Gotcha.
You know, where they got the name for cancer from.
I got you. Voice of Art with Z or Zay said, Chief, can you give us an idea of what we can expect starting the new year, April 1st?
No. If I see something, I'll probably be told you before you ask.
Facts. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot going on for sure. Let me see. Reverse inverted. Chief, we are not doing right. Let me see. What are we not doing right now with the government? Somebody asked me in the comments earlier. Damn, I think I took a screenshot of it. I had to pull it up. But I think they're saying, what are we not doing right with the government? I'm not sure exactly what that.
We participating in them shenanigans.
It shouldn't be.
All that shit is to get you emotionally stirred up. The ICE is a code for cleanup before they give it back to Big Mama. ICE on the land mean ISIS is on the land, so they got to clean it up before they give it back. They gonna give it back.
Yeah, they got no choice.
Publicly. See, the difference between the people that came and the people from here, we don't believe in that secret squirrel shit. Because we believe that secret squirrel shit is how the dirt get past you. You know, people doing stuff they shouldn't be doing, and then when you find out about it, because they done been hushing everybody up and paying them under the table, it got out of hand.
Yep.
And that's just where we at. It got out of hand.
This is a good one right here. I started this one. I know we're coming up on our timeline, but Kiko Fat 1483 said, "Are some of us unaware of direct bloodlines of the Black Nobility, and do they use telepathy and remote viewing to monitor and manage those that remain unaware?" That's a good question.
Yes, 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 and yes, and yes.
Mm. Mm. Yeah, that's a damn good question. Let me see. We got a couple more good ones. Family, I'm gonna get probably about 3-4 more good questions, and then we gotta wrap it up. Big Chief gotta get up out this thing, and then I gotta get ready to take a quick break before I jump right back on at 9:30. So let me see. Marie Bowen said, question, last week hundreds of birds fell out of the sky in Gloucester, New Jersey. Can you tell us anything about that?
Normally when you see a massive group of birds fall out the sky, something in the magnetic field been altered.
Mm-hmm.
And it literally make them dizzy and they can't fly. So they come down. So there's a couple of things it could have been. It could have been what they call a sound ray.
I was gonna ask you
shoot out ultrasonic sounds. Somebody could have shot them down with that. It could have been a UFO because a UFO disturbs it rides on an electromagnetic field.
Yeah.
And sometimes it disrupts the field and it makes the birds disoriented and they just fall straight down.
Mm.
Then it could have been a satellite malfunction, could have caused the field to disrupt and cause the birds to fall down. But something interfered with the natural electromagnetic field of the Earth. Solar flares could do it too.
Mm-hmm. James Rock said the water seal on the birth certificates. What's the symbolism in that?
Water seals is always for securities. The thing about birth certificates is they all on bank paper, on bond paper that they write bonds on.
Mm-hmm.
And there's always something in that border. But after you copy it a couple of times, you won't be able to see it.
Mm.
But if it's an original copy, you can zoom in on the border and you can see which bank that printed the note that they telling you was a birth certificate.
Kind of like them little bars they put in the dollar bills to see if it's so-called true in the inside of the.
No, the borderline. They write the bank stuff in the borderline, and it look like a black line going around the outside of the page.
I got you.
It'd be stuff written in there. Sometimes where the signatures go, if you zoom in, they got shit be written in there too. When they say read the fine print, you don't always know it's there. Sometimes it be so fine you can't tell that it ain't a line.
And that's on purpose.
On purpose.
Okay. 2 more, family. I'm gonna get Kiko. DJ Kiko says, I live in the original Kemet, New Mexico. I'm looking at my ancestors. When did the so-called black folk arrive here, and when did the so-called Native American folk arrive? Did we all live together?
It was a time when we was trading the what you call black folk. We've always been all over the planet. Always. Ever since Earth been here, we've been here.
Yeah.
So, but when you say the group of people that they call referring to as Native Americans with the Asian features, and look up the Chinese road in Mexico for your research. And you'll see we was already trading with the Asians long before we ever encountered these Negropeans and Europeans.
All right, I got one more. Yeah, I'm gonna do one more real quick. One more. This is a good one, I think. Where is that? Okay, this one. Living Truth says, is there Planet X or Nibiru? And if so, will it be seen anytime soon?
It got cloaking technology. If you see it, it's gonna be so huge in the sky, it won't be able to be mistaken. But you gotta remember, they got cloaking technology where they could get real close before you can see them.
I think it was here not that long ago, honestly.
Yeah, so you can look it up. You can look at it, got other names for it too. Rhino 7, Planet X, Nibiru. I can't even think of all the names. There are a lot of names for it.
Yeah, I was driving. I don't remember where I was driving at, bro. But I'm talking about the whole entire sky for as far as I could see. It was one big flat. I mean, a very consistent cloud. I'm like, yeah, it might, it might be there, but I'm talking about it was as far as I could see. I'm talking about in all directions, northwest, east side. So yeah, we might have some company. It was crazy.
A lot of people got memories of, but it's not going to be as close as it was before. But it's still going to be visible. Remember, they can steer Nibiru, and Nibiru has planets orbiting it too. And it also have what we call a tailwind behind it. The tailwind also have planet-sized asteroids that follow it.
Like
a lot of them have been right. So a lot of them have been turned into technology, so they can steer all that stuff. And this time they supposed to steer where it don't flip the crust of the earth. And if it don't flip the crust of the earth, that eliminates the disaster, the doomsday disaster that everybody expecting. Because, every 3,600 years, they had to went around so many cycles before they could calculate the trajectory. Right? And then every time they came around, it flipped the crust. And that's what made Atlantis flood when the crust flipped. Right? And Antarctica was froze because the part of the earth that sits on the South Pole, which is actually the top of the earth, right? When they knocked the asteroid belt from it, it knocked it out of orbit. And when you knock it out of the orbit, it's like the yolk of the egg getting pushed outside of the egg. Only outside the orbit is so cold that it flash froze everything.
Yeah. Damn, you know what? We ain't gonna have time tonight, but I definitely wanted to get into Greenland and what all was going on with all that stuff. But I think that might be a whole nother topic, part of the show that will take a little time to go into.
I think I sent B-Dell some receipts on Greenland. He did a show on it.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, we was talking about it on the phone one day, and I was just sending him some random receipts that popped up that was matching the conversation we had.
It's funny because I told him earlier. I said, "Look, I'm gonna try to tag team him, man. Let's see if we can get him to jump on Saturday." But I know how you move. So I said I'll be patient and wait and see. But I definitely said that to him too. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I definitely want to get into that though, because I know it's a lot going on with that too. Let me see. First Blood, Call of Duty names. Yeah, family, we're gonna let Big Chief get up out of here, man, because I know he got other things he got to get into, and I definitely appreciate this session, man. How much longer you got, Big Chief? You want to shut it down? Or you got a few more?
So you got a couple more questions if you want to ask a couple more questions.
Let's get into Greenland then. What's up? What's going on? Why does Trump want to go up there and take over? Why he on a strong on Greenland?
It's part of this land right here. You gotta remember, he already took Canada. Don't nobody know it yet. All of the Americas have to be returned back to the tribal mothers.
That part.
The top tribal mothers is going to be called by the government to meet in Philadelphia. And if it don't look like the Million Woman March, my name ain't Rod Hayes, because they're going to be coming. And it just so happened that the Million Woman March was in Philadelphia. But not one of them sisters knew to go sit in that sacerdotal seat. They could have, certain ones with the blood and the right could have sat there and called court. They didn't know it back then because nobody had did the research on restoring the matriarchy.
It's about to go down. Yes, sir. Community Empress says the change from Wales to Rome.
I think it was from Rome to Wales, but Rome still held the power. Wales is in England. It's part of the British Empire. But all of that was controlled by Rome. Rome. You gotta remember, the Pope is the one who was crowning all of the royalty. Without the papal permission, they couldn't sit on none of those seats. And he controlled by the black nobility that been hiding in Switzerland. Hey, look in your texts. Look what I sent you. I sent you receipts about something we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, we're going. We're gonna have to bring these. We're gonna have to do a whole nother show with this. We're gonna have to bring a whole. That's a whole nother episode, man. That's a whole nother episode with that
the
one.
rules to the game of life is in the board games.
Yeah, that's real. Brother Rod said, I'm sorry, at 360 Shaman said, Brother Rod, can you explain why or how the Aztecs were terminating all the incest bloodlines of the land of the tribes breeding within their own tribes?
Because they were importing external tribal blood. I don't know, people have listened for a while, hear me saying that the royal families of the Americas on the East Coast, they've been marrying the African royal families for thousands of years. And that's why on the West Coast of Africa, so many of them claim they came from here. And then on the West Coast of America, we was doing the same kind of intermarrying with the tribes from the Asian side of the continent, of Eurasia. And this is why a lot of the dark-skinned Native Americans look like Native Americans and less like the regular Black Americans, right? Because we was marrying with them. The original Inuits, what they call Eskimos, was darker than me.
And that's a deep conversation because the originals in China and in all those areas over there were darker than both of us too. They were about black as my beard. You know what I'm saying? So, well, the black part of the beard, but yeah.
But remember, all of the royal families of the earth had to give a drop of blood to clean up the great debauchery. Right? The Asians was one of the first people to go. And that's why it's so many of them that's so yellow, because they mixed. They gave that drop of blood. But the deeper you get into the continent, you start seeing the more our complexion. But instead of a red tint, they got a yellow tint. It's the same with Japan. Yeah, if you type in AINU, you'll see what the original Japanese look like.
Yeah, Brother Roger got a good point. That galactic signature, that's powerful. I just got mine like a couple weeks ago, man. That's very powerful to get that, family, if you don't have it yet. What was he said you wanted to look up? AINU?
You call it Anu.
Anu people,
They named after Anu.
Gotcha. Can I share this? Okay. Can y'all see that?
Go to images.
Boom.
No, them the new breeds.
Say that one more time.
No, I said them the new breeds. Scroll down. You'll know because they got dreadlocks. Okay, let's go back up there and write in original Anu.
Gotcha.
There they go, right there.
Oh shit! Hold on.
The bottom row, you get the first and the last picture. They almost the same.
Right here.
But that's them.
Oh, come on, man! What y'all doing? Let's see. Okay. Right here. Yeah, they like Eskimos, especially that one right here.
See how nappy my man beard is?
This one right here. Well, his too. His damn near like mine.
Yeah. They was darker than that. Though. They got some more better pictures. They then put all of the pale pictures up front.
Yeah, just like they try to, you know, just like Hannibal Barker was supposed to be a pale man, allegedly.
Man, everybody know Hannibal, son of Hamilcar, was a Carthaginian Negro.
Listen, not don't let them tell it. No. he was European.
Okay, so you got to understand why they changing all of the images.
Mm-hmm. So we don't know the history of it.
To confuse the history is one part, right? To validate the pale face, the second part. The reason they validating the pale face is because everybody had to have a chance to rule for us all over, and they didn't know as people.
Mm-hmm.
So they gave them an artificial rule. Because they being controlled the whole time, the ones that's really got the control, they under control of those people in Switzerland that look like us that ain't us.
Mm-hmm.
You can look them up. Look up Black Swiss.
Are they reptilians?
We are reptilian mammalian hybrids. They different from us some kind of way because we always knew they was different. If you go back to the Emerald Tablet stuff, call them the Dark Brothers.
Let's see. Oh shit! Let me go back. I'll figure this app out one day. Okay, here we go. This is what I got when I pulled them up. The Black Swiss.
Mm-hmm. They look like regular old everyday Negroes, aren't they?
Mm-hmm. That one looks familiar. I don't know if she is one of them, but she looks familiar. Yeah, we definitely got to get another one in with that. What you just sent me. Because
the ones that was in charge, they lived in the underground bunkers under the Himalayas. Go back over there to Google, pull it back up. I want you to see one more thing before we go.
What we're looking for?
We looking for the fallout bunkers in Swiss mountains. Now the lie they say is that this was for World War II. Them motherfuckers old as hell. But they say they was for World War II in case they got bombed. They built all of them bunkers. They're gonna show you a map. They all go all through the Swiss Alps.
Okay. These the ones?
Yep, that's what they look like on them pictures up. Go back to the top. Let me see what you write in there.
Fallout bunkers in Swiss.
Just take out fallout. Okay, and then it's what it say, bunkers in Swiss mountains. Yep, the first one.
Oh, okay. Oh shit. Can y'all see that? Y'all can see the screen?
Matter of fact, right Alps behind it, ALPS. This shit, if you scroll down, they might give you a map. They used to deny these. There go the map right there in the middle.
This one right here?
Yeah. You see how extensive them caverns is?
That's crazy.
That's where they was living at. That's why nobody couldn't find them. That's why they was called the Amun.
Wow. That's crazy. Why were they hiding? What was the purpose of them hiding like that?
Because then the ones been doing all the dirt. They've been funding both sides of all of the wars. They've been enslaving the whole earth. Of course they don't want to be seen.
Bruh.
That's from the 18th dynasty. The way we got the Amun spell. Where everybody say, I mean behind their prayers. I mean, unknown. That mean, don't answer my prayer, whatever the fuck you do.
That's crazy. You know, and this is going to be a cliffhanger because when me and B-Dell was chopping up the same day I had talked to you, when we was planning out these calls, I was telling him, I don't know if I told you about it, but I remember years ago, This is like in the early 2000s, whenever the Jay-Z Best of Both Worlds tour was going on, but then R. Kelly got locked up, so he revamped it to the Jay-Z and Friends tour. I had front row seats to the concert.
It was a couple years after they had a falling out before R. Kelly went to prison.
Okay. I had front row seats to that concert. I'm talking about so close to the stage. I mean, literally in the front of the show. Like, I put my drink on the stage. And security, like, hey, man, you can't be putting your drink on stage. You got to get that off stage, right? I say all that to say that the way you just said why they living the way they living and because of what they've done to people, bro, I've been to a lot of shows in my life and I've seen some of everybody as I'm performing whatever, but I have never in my life before or after seen an artist come out on stage that had security on the stage with them. Diddler had security at the front corner, probably, I don't think in the center, but on the right corner. He had security lined on the sides, and then he had security lined up like right where the stage and backstage meets. And he had about 6 to 8 guards on stage with him. And I'm sitting there thinking in my head, like, bro, really got some real enemies, bro. Because like, who comes on stage with that much security? But now, fast forward to 2026, it makes perfect sense because of all the you know what I'm saying, foolishness that he had going on.
Look, man, Diddy was supposed to fall. This was designed for him to fall. The problem is he didn't take down with him who he was supposed to take down.
Yeah.
Because his lawyers seen that the case was weak. So he would have looked like a real bitch to the power brokers if he gave them up on such a weak case. When Diddy went down, I'm gonna tell you, Lyle Cohen supposed to fail. What's the motherfucker used to manage Whitney?
I know you're talking
Clive
about
Davis.
Yeah.
Clive Davis supposed to fail. Tommy Mottola supposed to fail.
All the power brokers, the whole industry.
All of the music industry big wigs, he was supposed to have the goods on. He got the goods.
Yeah.
But the case wasn't strong enough against him to surrender the goods. If you go back to the allegations and then you go to the trial, they not the same.
Yeah.
The allegations that they was making on him and what he was convicted of is way different.
Yeah, totally different. Not even
now,
close.
Remember, they was trying to hit him with the RICO. He beat the RICO case. That was the most important one to beat, because if they take the RICO case, they can lock all his assets down, and then he can't get to the dirt on the dirt dealers.
Yep. Yeah. Same way they do the mob. That's exactly how they bring the mob down with them RICO cases.
Yeah.
Because
So
they can prove that you're running a criminal enterprise.
once he beat the RICO case, this 5 years ain't nothing.
That's
5 years. 5 years ain't shit.
That's crazy.
That RICO case, because then they would have been able to seize anybody that came in contact with him property. You see?
Yeah, the RICO ain't no joke.
If they'd hit him with the RICO, he would have been forced to give up them files. Believe me, he got some shit on all of them.
Yeah.
Why you think Russell Simmons jumped the fuck up and ran on the other side of the world?
That's why he moved the way he moved, bro. That's exactly why.
Russell Simmons was under attack by some people called WASPs. Refer to themselves as white Anglo-Saxon Protestants. But the real WASP is blacker than me. They black as this shit right here.
It's a dirty game, family. It's a dirty game, buddy. It's a dirty game.
But they call white Anglo-Saxon Protestants.
And then
but they black. But they black like this bar right here. Like this black right here. White Anglo-Saxon Protestants.
But that goes back to like the when you talk about the Morris law and being listed as a white person, right? It don't have nothing to do with the color of your skin.
It got nothing to do with skin color.
Yep.
If you go look, matter of fact, if you want to know what a wasp look like, look at them people that the Pope kissing their feet. Them the real wasps. The pale faces, they crash dummies. Fall guy, stunt doubles.
Somebody just put that in there too. Sandra Edwards, right on time, boy. Talk about divine timing, boy. Literally, as soon as you said it, she said it simultaneously. That's what's up. Man, listen, I appreciate you, Big Chief. This was definitely a big time family reunion, man, to get back in these Ashley streets and tear it up for the tribe, man. We damn near 1,000 deep already. It's crazy that I gotta jump right back on, family. But I'm gonna definitely get with you, man, tomorrow and see, you know, when we can set the next one, because that one you sent me, and then like I said, I got a few other ones I definitely wanted to get into. You know, we make it happen, because yeah, it's a lot. We didn't even get to get into Nipsey and, you know, none of the other stuff. So it's like we gotta get it. We gotta run it back soon, man. So I definitely holler at you and see if we can set something up for sure.
For sure.
Yes, sir. Tribe, I appreciate y'all, man. I'll see y'all in a few minutes, man. I'm gonna switch links and jump right back in, man. We can keep this thing going. The marathon continues. Shout out to the brother Nip for sure. The marathon continues. All right, family. So I appreciate all the love and support. Big Chief, appreciate you, man. I'll definitely be in touch expeditiously. And yeah, man, we're gonna make this thing do what it do.
All right.
Yes, sir. All right, family. I'll see y'all on the next link, Tribe. Peace. We out. Odabo.
Ẹni tó gbàgbé ilé ṣàpò ìyàpọ̀ tẹ́ǹtì ẹni takísà ní tàtàn ò bá padà sílé anítìjàkọ ẹja lọ pé eégún mo ṣe ní gbẹ́rẹ́ ìpàkọ́ forsake not your ancestors and praise your.